Hello, sports fan. Welcome to Thunder Weekly / OU Spring Football. I'm Rick Heath, with me Mark Rogers, and we are at a great place to come before the OU Spring game, and it is the Cohiba Lounge next door to the Royal Pipes and Tobacco, where they got a great selection of cigars here in Norman. Mark, the Thunder season is over for all practical intents. What did Sam Presti learn about this team this year?
I think he learned he had a pretty good draft in 2021. I thought, or 2022, 2021. This is the 22 draft coming up. I think they did a good job in the first round with Trey Mann and Josh Giddey. So they've shown a lot of potential. I think Jeremiah Robinson Earl, as a second-round pick, also has shown some potential. So I think he also learned that SGA took a step up when he played in the spring. After the All-Star break, averaged 30 points a game for a while, showed that he could really score. I think other than that, what did he learn? Lou Dort also, I thought, showed the ability to go to the basket and score.
I was so disappointed that Dort got hurt, because even though they would have set him out, I would have liked to selectively seen him in a few more games.
Yeah, it stinks that he got hurt, because I think he was showing a lot of improvement, but that doesn't mean that he can't pick up where he left off. He's a young player with a lot of upside and a lot of potential. So I think what Sam Presti most importantly has learned is that with a couple of good draft picks this year, that the team going to be a competitive team to try to make a playoff spot or a play-in spot next year.
All I wanted you to say, actually, was that the tank is over. That would help me sleep the whole rest of the spring, summer, and into next year's
The tank is over.
preseason.
It's over. I'm just telling you that. I mean, that's maybe a little different question than what has he learned, but I think that if you're asking me, people have told me that are close to the organization that, no, it's not going to be the theory going into next season. Now, look, if there's catastrophic injuries similar to the situation that happened other places, I'm not sure that you wouldn't try to strategically get a high pick again next season, but that's not the way that it's going to be. We're not going to see massive guys sitting out all the time.
Well, you can't. I mean, SGA is too young and too good of a player to have that put on him again. Dort's too young, too good of a player. Giddey needs all the minutes he can get to start getting his NBA potential out of him. JRE, Wiggins, all those guys need Trey Mann. All those guys need as many minutes as they can get in competitive atmosphere. And you can see by the last few games how important it is for the youngsters to get those minutes and to get them learning minutes on the court against NBA caliber competition.
Let me also make something clear too. I think that there's a misnomer about this. Where your ping pong balls come out isn't the most important thing. The evaluation is the most important thing. We've seen guys all throughout the draft. You go back to the 2020 draft, the end of the draft is better than the beginning of the draft. Guys like Tyrese Maxey and Desmond Bane and players like that. So your evaluation has to be good, and I like Oklahoma City's chances with doing that. They're going to have two good picks this year in this draft. I don't know where they're going to be, but if their evaluation is good, then I think they're going to have two really good players.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, a lot of folks focused, a lot of people focused on where they're going to be. You know, we got to lose so we can get a top 2 or 3 draft pick. Well, that's all and good, but you never know where those ping pong balls are going to fall.
That's right.
And even though you may be the 3rd worst record, you may not get a top 5 pick. You could get 7 or 8.
You could. Do you know who you would take as number 1?
Who would I take as number 1?
I mean, are you confident one big?
No, I don't have a number 1. There's not one guy in here that I think is a definite number 1. No Cade Cunningham. Hey, we are at Royal Pipes / Cohiba Lounge here in Norman, where they are going to have the greatest event before and during the OU spring football game. The night before, they're going to have a smoke through the keyhole Joe Washington cigar 50th anniversary unveiling right here at Cohiba Lounge. Joe Washington of the Silver Shoes is going to have a Silver Shoe Edition cigar unveiled right here by Smoke Through the Keyhole Cigars here on Friday, the 22nd of April. So you got to be here. And then the next day, which is OU spring football game, Mark, they're going to open up at 10 a.m. They're going to have tents out here. They're going to have food. They're going to have celebration. And they are going to have a tailgate right here at Cohiba Lounge starting at 10 a.m. You got to be here. We'll be right back in just a moment.
EDS Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for auto body repair. Whether it be from hail damage, dents, scratches, or even glass replacement and repair, we can accommodate all your needs. Locally owned and operated since 2005, EDS Paintless Dent Repair is here for you. Give us a call at 405-476-1763 or go to edspaintlessdentrepair.com.
Okay, sports fans, you know, we do the Thunder Weekly each week, but there's a lot of things I like to support that are Oklahoma products. I like to go around and do shows from Oklahoma businesses, but one of the businesses I want to talk about is Prairie Wolf Distillery, now Wander Folk Spirits. Wander Folk Spirits distilled out of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Great line of spirits. They have Wander Folk Gin, Wander Folk Vodka, and Old Moses Bourbon. All of these are quality products, and they're distilled right here in Oklahoma. So if you come to like Cohiba Lounge, ask for a Wander Folk Gin and Tonic, or ask for a Wander Folk Vodka and Tonic, or a club special. It's getting where you can get that now. It's getting warmer. A vodka club special made with Wander Folk Vodka. Great selection, and you're supporting Oklahoma businesses. So support Oklahoma business. Ask your favorite restaurant or bar to carry Wander Folk Spirits.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
And welcome back, Thunder Weekly / OU Spring Football Show with Mark Rogers and Rick Heath here from Cohiba Lounge on Jenkins and Lindsay next to Royal Pipes, where they will, as I said previously, have the unveiling of the 50th anniversary Silver Shoe Edition Joe Washington cigar, unveiled right here on April 22nd, Friday night from 6 p.m. till midnight right here. So if you want to see Joe Washington unveil his 50th anniversary Silver Shoe cigar, you got to come here to do it. No place else in the world will have it other than right here. Okay, Mark, I got a proposed trade for you. Okay. Say somebody is looking to maybe move and get more draft picks. Would you trade SGA and the Clippers pick for one of the top 2 picks and keep the Thunder's own pick, say it's number 4?
I don't think so. I don't think I'd do that this year. I don't think I would. I don't know that there's anyone that I would like at 1 or 2 that is a transcendent superstar to want to give up SGA. I think you can look in future drafts if Oklahoma City wants to move up. Say if there's a spot that they feel like they can get into, that they've got a lot of picks that they can move up with. I just don't know that this draft is the draft. I do think Oklahoma City likes, I think they like Jaden Ivey a lot from Purdue, but who knows where he'll go. Again, I don't know that in my opinion, that he fits on the roster in terms of what the personnel is right now there. I'd like to see him draft a little bit bigger player. But we'll see how Sam Presti is. I know that Sam Presti likes athletic ability, and Ivey's got that off the charts.
Well, okay, so I'm going to ask you this. If they were able to get Holmgren and Ivey, would you reconsider?
I don't know. I don't see those 2 guys as being worthy of trading SGA, who's already a couple of years along the lines, and down the way here in Oklahoma City. Because I don't know, that doesn't guarantee that either one of those guys to me are going to be elite players. Chet Holmgren's really fascinating. I think that he's going to be the number 1 or number 2 pick.
That's kind of my thinking, and I think Jaden Ivey, as you said, I think he's the most athletic of the top 4 picks. And so I'm just wondering, I don't think Ivey would fit, as you said, on this roster right now with SGA and Giddey and Trey Mann and Dort and the rest of them. But if SGA was moved and they made a space just for Ivey. Now, Do I think that would help them overall? Maybe, but it also might put them back a couple of years.
Sure, and I don't think that they don't need to go back a couple of years. I think I see this team as fairly competitive next year. I do. The Lakers may implode. There isn't one team that's going to change a little bit. I'm not sure what the future of the Jazz is. Who knows with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard might be a situation where he could want out and go to someplace else. There's a lot of the West is the place to be right now. It wasn't 8 years ago. It is
Even
now.
4 years ago it
Even
wasn't.
4 years ago it wasn't. The East is a beast right now.
Yeah.
Just
I
right.
like that. The East is a beast.
It is.
I
It's
like
tough.
that.
It's really tough. You got Brooklyn that's in the play-in spot right now with two of the best players in basketball.
And nobody wants to be able to face Brooklyn in the playoffs.
No. I don't think so. So I think that Oklahoma City's in a good spot, or they can move up. It's not going to be competing for an NBA championship or vying for the top spot in the West next year, or I don't even think the following year, but it will be competitive basketball.
And I like that part of it. It's going to be competitive because, they've got the basic. They've got SGA, even though I was trying to trade him.
Yeah. You weren't really trying to. You're just looking for value.
There's the fluidness there.
Looking for value.
Yeah, if you get two starters for one, and you're the Clips pick, who knows what that's going to be? Now, But anyway, I'm the guy that actually wants a proven young player as opposed to draft picks. But anyway, you got SGA, Giddey, Trey Mann, Dort. So you've got the basics. You just need a big and a wing out there, and I think they'll be very competitive for next year. Hey, we are here at Cohiba Lounge where they have a wonderful event Friday, April 22nd, the Joe Washington Smoke Through a Keyhole 50th Anniversary Silver Shoes Edition. That's right, cigar unveiled right here at the Cohiba Lounge on Friday night, April 22nd, from 6 p.m. to midnight. You got to be here. Not only will Joe Washington be here, but a ton of former OU football players will be here. Probably Bob Stoops, maybe even Brent Venables. All those guys will be here helping out Joe Washington unveil his 50th Anniversary Silver Shoes Special Cigar Edition. We'll be right back after this.
EDS Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for auto body repair. Whether it be from hail damage, dents, scratches, or even glass replacement and repair, we can accommodate all your needs. Locally owned and operated since 2005, EDS Paintless Dent Repair is here for you. Give us a call at 405-476-1763 or go to edspaintlessdentrepair.com.
At Laser Light Skin Clinic, our most popular treatment is now more affordable than ever. Right now, you can save up to 50% on Cool Sculpting, the #1 choice for non-invasive fat reduction. Our flexible treatment plans allow you to choose the option that is perfect for you. Focus on a single problem area or revive your life with a fresh new you. These are real results. For your personal Cool Sculpting consultation, call Laser Light Skin Clinic today. A new you awaits.
Let me talk about one of my favorite places in Deep Deuce to eat and drink, and that's Bar Cicchetti. Bar Cicchetti with a great menu, and they're featuring a wonderful brunch. If you haven't had brunch yet at Bar Cicchetti, you got to do it. It's available on Sundays. Wonderful new menu for brunch, and it is inventive and creative, and it changes every week. So if you're looking for a great place for a brunch, Bar Cicchetti on Northeast 2nd in Deep Deuce, great place to go for brunch. And during the week, they have great dinner specials as well as drink specials every day at Bar Cicchetti, Northeast 2nd Street in Deep Deuce. Also, they have the biggest big screen in Oklahoma City to watch your favorite sporting events. So if you're looking for food, drinks, and sports, go to Bar Cicchetti, Northeast 2nd Street in Deep Deuce. And welcome back, OU football bingo. See, I see it. OU spring football show version of Thunder Weekly. Here, Mark Rogers, Rick Heath from the Cohiba Lounge. Hey, let me tell you about Prairie Wolf Spirits / Wander Folk Spirits. It's a great distillery in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Oklahoma distilled spirits. They got vodka, gin. They got same old Moses of wonderful blended bourbon. Wonderful spirits that you need to try, especially with spring coming along. Club specials are going to be needed here on the golf course and at home here soon enough, and they are so much better with Wander Folk Spirits, distilled right here in Guthrie. If your restaurant, favorite restaurant or bar does not have Wander Folk Spirits, ask them to carry Wander Folk Spirits. Okay, Mark, let's talk a little bit about OU football. Everybody, and I mean everybody, knows that what's happened at OU. Brent Venables has been brought in to provide stability to what was a cratering situation from the outside. People thought that OU was going down fast. Brent's come in. What are your impressions since Brent Venables has been named head coach?
I think it's a change of culture. I think what it is I think it's done a great thing for OU fans. Confidence that got rocked when Lincoln Riley left, first coach to leave Oklahoma in over 80 years for another job collegiately. And I think we're going to see a team that is focused on playing physical football. Listen, I think you got to criticize Lincoln Riley in a sense as if he was still here. What was going a little bit wrong before, not just you're mad because he left. And I do think that in practice there was kind of a culture that had developed of being soft. We're an offensive football team. We're really more concerned with how much we can score and what the things we're going to do rather than focusing on tackling. That made a lot of sense to me when I saw OU play at Baylor last year, that Dave Aranda is a defensive coach and his team we're going to come up and strike you and play physical. And I thought that style of football won over OU style of football and may have kind of signaled a changing of the guard in the league. The Big 12, Oklahoma State, another defensive team that beat Oklahoma last year. And so I think that the league changes some, and it's evolving into more of a defensive league, and I think Brent Venables is going to bring that attitude to OU. That's going to be the biggest difference.
You know what also Brent Venables is going to bring? He's going to bring 40,000 people to the spring game right over here on Saturday, April 23rd, because people are excited now. They got jilted. First time OU fans had ever got jilted, as you said.
Right.
You know, and they were reeling. And now they're on the rebound because Brent Venables brings back that history of success. And everybody knows what Brent Venables stands for, just as you said.
That's right. And I think it's important not to set the bar very high originally, because I don't know that Brent is going to come in here next season and going to win 11 or 12 games, and it'll be a challenge because Oklahoma dropped off a little bit. They didn't make the Big 12 championship game last year. Some teams in this league have gotten some pretty good players. So you're going to have to be patient with that change. These players have been accustomed to playing and practicing a certain way, and there's going to be some fallout after that. And I also think losing Lincoln Riley means the offense is going to be a challenge. It's not going to look like Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, where OU was just running up and down the field all the time. There'll be some hiccups. It's not fair to compare Dylan Gabriel to those guys that came before him that were number one picks in the NFL. So be patient. Be patient. You can get all fired up for the spring game. You can paint your face, Rick, if you would like. The fans can go.
Only one side will be red.
That's okay.
Only one side, because I'm half a fan.
The fans can get excited, but they have to remember expectations.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I heard a local radio station,
Yes.
local,
Okay.
talking that it would be a catastrophe if OU lost 3 or 4 games next year. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, that's a likelihood. I mean, it very well could happen because of all the turmoil of the players, new coaches, new system. I mean, you don't come in, and if they take it back, if they do win 11 or 12 games, great. But, hey, don't count on it because there's no telling what's going to happen here in the Big 12.
I'm not sure that anything next year is a catastrophe. I mean, would it set the fans back some if they didn't win? I think it's more about how what it looks like.
Yeah.
You lose Oklahoma won a bunch of close games last year and people were upset. So I think, you play well and you lose a game. I think you're going to have to live with that.
Well, of course, Oklahoma fans aren't known for their clarity of
You
thinking.
have enough of a discerning eye to know what was going on last year, that it wasn't great.
All you had to do was watch a game. Hey, we are at Cohiba Lounge next to Royal Pipes and Tobacco here in Norman, where they will be celebrating on Friday, April 22nd, the Joe Washington Smoke Through a Keyhole 50th anniversary Silver Shoes Edition cigar unveiling right here at Cohiba Lounge on Friday, April 22nd. Plus, there will be tailgating all day on spring football game. Starts at 10 a.m. Food, beverages, specials, all that right here at Cohiba Lounge. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Mark Rogers, Rick Heath here with the OU Spring Football Report. Here from the Cohiba Lounge and Royal Pipes. Mark, let's talk a little bit about the offensive coordinator for OU, Jeff Lebby. Comes in with a lot of people believing in him because of his previous stops at Mississippi State and Central Florida. So tell us a little bit about what you think Jeff Lebby will bring here to the football team.
I think that he's learned under a lot of people. I mean, he really has been under some bright offensive minds. Art Briles, Lane Kiffin, Josh Heupel, and different kinds of coaches. I think that I like the fact that he's established both the run and the pass. He's had an offense that rushed for 200, passed for 300 before. I think you've got to be able to run the football.
And that was in the SEC, the vaunted, defense-oriented SEC.
Yeah, that's right. Top 5 total offense at 2 different schools. So, yes, I think that I hear good things about him. I hear great things about the amount of support staff that Brent was able to get hired.
Now, let's talk a little bit about that real briefly. Support staff being people that aren't actual coaches, but more advisors doing breaking down and teaching during the week.
For example, one of those guys that's on staff now that's not a coach, but he's an analyst, is Matt Wells, who was the head coach at Texas Tech last year, and is a guy that really is qualified, knows a lot about this area, knows a lot about the league. And so that was one of Brent's stipulations when he came here is, look, I need the things that we had at Clemson to try to compete to win a national championship. And I'm not sure that Lincoln really knew what it took to compete to win a national championship outside of just being here at Oklahoma.
Well, they'd only been to East Carolina and Tech.
Tech and OU. But and again,
OU.
That brings it back to Brent's experience. Even though he hasn't been a head coach, he has the experience of being in a program that has won national championships when not really many programs other than about 2 or 3 are winning them right now. So I think all of that is going to help.
It will. And Jeff Lebby has got some players. Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel. He's a good quarterback. We'll find out more about him as the season starts and progresses. What do you think about Dylan Gabriel?
He's coming off of a pretty drastic injury, so he needs to, he didn't play. He's got to be able to perform. And then I think also, again, it's important to temper expectations.
Yes.
I think Dylan Gabriel is got the potential to be a good player, but you can't get upset if he doesn't run 80 yards down the field like Caleb Williams did a year ago. He has a unique.
Well, I think the offense is better positioned than the defense. And the only reason I say that is because there are some pieces there. I mean, you got good wide receivers, you got good running backs. And the defense, you lost a lot of players, and it's more of a – now, Brent's the defensive coordinator. I said defensive coordinator. He's the head coach, but everybody knows who the defensive coordinator is going to be, Brent Venables. So, he's got more pieces to put together, I think, on the defensive side.
Well, it's 2022, and the transfer portal is the most important thing in college football. So OU did pretty well by getting a quarterback to replace one that was gone. They also have a lot of experience coming in the portal, but it's also important to note that they got a lot of experience that went out to the draft and other places. So I don't know if either side of the ball is positioned better in terms of the skill that they have. There's skill I like the corners on this team. Woody Washington and DJ Graham, I think, are really, really good. You've got some other guys that have come in. Offensive position, what's in the best shape? I don't know. I think that offensive line potentially could be good, but spring game is a perfect time to watch and see new faces, a lot of them that have been playing at other schools, to see what they can add to this team.
Well, and I like, the staff, the defensive staff that Brent brought in, he knows them all, and they all have the same type thought process. It's all, as you mentioned earlier in the show, it's all about culture. Yeah. To them, it's all about culture. You either buy in to the OU culture or going down the road. They don't have time for you if you're not going to buy in 100%. And I think that's what will make a big difference in what's going on, because after Lincoln left, you saw what happened. There were a lot of rats leaving the ship and fleeing the ship. And I think the ones that stayed really want to be here, and that's what will make the difference.
I know we're short on time, but I don't want to do this without mentioning Jerry Schmidt. I think strength and conditioning helps develop players in the program, and I think maybe that lacked a little bit in the last couple of years. I feel pretty comfortable with him being there that can develop again.
Thank you. I like that, because I think that's a very important part, an unsung part of what new is being brought in. What new is old, what old is new, and Jerry Schmidt is going to make these guys a little bit better prepared for the season. Hey, that's going to do it for the OU Spring Football Report and Thunder Weekly. Hey, and don't forget, Friday, April 22nd, Joe Washington, the Smoke Through a Keyhole 50th Anniversary Silver Shoe Edition cigar will be unveiled right here from 6 p.m. to midnight at Cohiba Lounge. And then the next day at 10 a.m., a big, huge tailgate party at Cohiba Lounge. Food, drinks, all of that available right here on Sooner Game Day. We'll be here next time with the OU Spring Football Report.